Come in.
Hi, Jessica Prescott with ICSC.
Jessica, Nikki.
Pleasure to meet you,
How are
Nikki. May I take a seat?
Sure.
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I happen to have my business card with me. Do you have one on you?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on to mine and then I'll get your
Okay.
information one more time at the end. How is your conference going?
It's going good.
Great. I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that. And how was your trip up from Cuba?
It's a little bumpy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of travel, I brought this article along with me today, and it discusses the recent relationship changes with Cuba and America. And I wanted to ask you, how have things changed for you since they've normalized relations?
I'd like to ask you, who do you think's going to win this election?
Oh, okay. What makes you ask me that question?
Well, if Obama wins, then, I mean, if the Republicans win, then this whole thing is probably not going to work out.
Okay, well, I'm glad you bring that to my attention because I wanted to do some research before our meeting as well. And I checked with the Department of Treasury, and I actually have the clause stating that it is okay for Americans to do business with Cuba with cloud-based technologies. So I'm going to leave this clause, this law, with you to review after our meeting. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, great.
Great. So something that is noted in the article that really stood out to me is that the most important driver between warming ties between America and Cuba is the relationships that are being built between travelers. And I think that those relationships that are being built with them are just waiting to be built between business partners as well. Do you agree?
Sure.
Well, I know we set aside 15 minutes today. Does that still work for you?
Perfect.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. I brought along a roadmap for our meeting today. And what we're going to do with this roadmap is discuss your current decision process. We're going to walk through the typical customer experience. We'll go through a short company overview of the LTSP and just 3 numbers. And then together we'll make a decision if it makes sense to take the next step with SalonBiz. How does that sound?
Sounds very formal.
Very formal?
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem. It's just formal.
Okay. Well, it's a very relaxed meeting. I just want to get to know the ins and outs of your business. Do you feel comfortable moving forward with this?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. So before we get started, I know you play a really important role in this decision, Nikki. Is there anyone else aside from Raphael that we should include?
He's the guy. Raf's the guy.
Raf is the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Raf is the guy.
Yeah.
Now, if SalonBiz were to be a great fit for you,
Not that bad.
if SalonBiz were to be a great fit for you, would you feel comfortable implementing sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I've looked at about a dozen of these. So what's so special about SalonBiz?
Okay, sure. Tell me more about that concern.
I just want to know if it's something we can count on.
Of course, so
As a
dependability.
company, like, how do we know we can count on you?
Sure, so you're saying that dependability is something very important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all probably dependable, but, it's a relationship. So, is it a good company?
Yes, so I want to tell you a little bit more about our company later in our short company overview.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave behind a testimonial.
All right.
And I want you to reach out to Mary because she's really a testament of what we've been able to do for her and how she's been able to rely on us the past 6 months of working together. Is it okay if we move forward?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what is most important to you when partnering with a business like ours?
Well, we want all these rich Americans that are going to come, if things work out, and visit Cuba. And I want them to be able to make an appointment before they get there.
Okay, so appointment booking is something important to you. We'll definitely touch on that in a couple of minutes. Now, what goals have both you and Raphael set together for your business, as there is an influx of tourism in Cuba?
Well, there's the online booking, and then we're woefully disorganized when it comes to our inventory.
Okay, so I'm going to make a star there as well. Now, these are a couple of different areas that we'll hit as we walk through the client experience. Now, how many service providers are at the Melia location?
So 3.
3 service providers?
3, but there's more out there that are available to me if we have a lot of demand, and I can never get hold of them. So it's all very disorganized. So.
What do you mean that you can't get a hold of them?
Well, it's like I don't know when they're available, and there's no central way for them to communicate with us, and when should they come in, and so I don't always know.
Okay.
Like I don't know how many people I'll need.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to make a schedule.
Okay, so scheduling is something else.
Yeah, scheduling would be good.
And are you currently using a CRM system?
No.
No. So
what does CRM stand for?
It's a customer relationship management system.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
That's a cloud thing, right?
Yes.
I'm a little worried about that.
Okay, so Raphael did mention that the cloud was something that we should address today. Do you know why that was on his agenda?
I think it's about training, like we've never used the cloud, and our folks don't really understand that, at least not yet. So how would we get them up to speed and using something that's based in the cloud versus on their computer?
Yes. Okay. So training usually takes typically about a half of a day. So really, you're able to be up and running in a very short amount of time. And also, if there still is any leftover confusion, we have some videos online that receptionists and stylists and yourself are able to reference at any time. Now, if there's still some leftover confusion, we have 50 support techs who you're able to reach out to around the clock, and they'll walk you through any issues that you're experiencing. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, great. So going back to appointment setting, how does a visitor book an appointment with your spa at the hotel?
Just show up.
Oh, they just show up.
Front desk.
Okay,
That's the whole thing. So we don't actually have an appointment in advance.
Oh, okay.
So they get to the hotel, they walk down to the spa, they set an appointment. So we haven't really done anything in advance, and that's what we're wanting. That's why we should be looking at this stuff.
Okay, well, as the number of visitors increase, how do you think that method is going to be equipped to handle that?
I'm here.
Okay, so that's something that.
That's why you sent me. They sent me.
Okay, so how many appointments do you have right now about each week?
About 30.
About 30 per week? Yeah. Okay, and with 3 stylists, we often see about 30 appointments per service provider at a well-managed salon. So that number is most likely to increase over the next couple of months.
Okay, that sounds good.
Tourism. So
yeah, we're talking.
Okay, so if you have 3 stylists and you're at 30 appointments a week, that number is going to go up to 90 appointments.
You guarantee that?
Now that's not a number that I can guarantee, but typically on average we can see that in the first 6 months of using stylists.
Okay, all right.
Now moving into inventory, you mentioned that this was something that you were struggling with. Tell me how you're currently managing your inventory.
We just buy the stuff and we see what we're low, we just try to remember to order more.
Okay, so try to remember to order more. Is this something that you're tracking on paper at all, or it's not
written down? Yeah, okay. A little bit, you know.
Well, tell me what challenges you run into by using that method.
Well, I don't really do it. I mean, someone else.
Okay, so what challenges are they experiencing, or have you seen?
This shelf's empty. I mean, I only know I'm a problem. There's a problem if I show up and the shelf just doesn't look right.
Well, how do you think that's affecting your retail sales?
Don't tell we're off, but we lose a lot of money.
Okay, well, how much money are you making on each customer on average?
No idea.
Really? Okay, well, what we see in the industry is typically a $10 profit on each customer that comes in the door in retail sales. Do you think that's the number that you are hitting?
Well, you have to understand our currency is different, so.
Sure.
That's. I don't know that I can. I don't know that we. I guess I can answer that question.
Okay, well, to look at it a different way, how do you think your customers feel when they go to purchase retail following their appointment and it's not there?
I guess they feel disappointed that they couldn't buy something.
Sure, and how do you think that affects your ability to bring back visitors in the future?
Well, these are tourists, so they don't really come back.
Sure, but what I've noticed is that there's often word of mouth, and people are able to leave reviews about.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
And they're able to report back to reception.
All right, that makes sense.
So sometimes not having your inventory on the shelf can leave a negative taste in a client's mouth, which can prevent your opportunity to build more revenues in the future. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And now moving on to the cloud, you mentioned that it might be important for scheduling and helping your stylists understand when they need to come in for an appointment. Tell me, how do you bring in your service providers when someone comes in for an appointment? Are they there waiting, or do you have to give them a call and bring them in?
Sometimes both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how much time is that taking for them to get to the salon, to be there, or to the
Well,
spa?
that's the thing. I mean, sometimes we basically have to say we don't have anyone here to help you.
Ooh, so you're missing out on an appointment.
Yeah.
Well, how often does that happen?
10%.
10% of appointments. Yeah. And you mentioned you're having 30 appointments per week. So 10% of 30 is the amount that you're losing out on?
3.
Wow, okay. So you're losing 3 appointments each week. How much is a typical appointment worth? Would you say 65?
Yeah.
65? Yeah. Okay. So you're losing about $195 per week on missed appointments because you weren't able to have your service provider.
Don't tell Roth that.
Well, what could you achieve if you weren't having that problem?
I make more money.
Make more money and make Roth happy.
Yeah.
And help his overall relationship with the association.
Sure, yeah, I would agree.
Well, today we've discussed a lot of different areas. We've spent some time talking about appointment setting and making sure that we're growing our appointments from 30 to 90. We've also spent some time talking about inventory and missed opportunities on retail sales. And we've talked about $195 worth of appointments that we're missing out on due to scheduling problems. Would you be willing to hear me out if I could show you a solution that would solve these issues for you and earn you that money?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now before we get started with the presentation, I want to go through a short company overview in just 3 numbers. The number 65 stands for the number of years that we've been in the salon industry. The number 27 represents the number of years that we've been making salon software specifically, or spa software.
A lot of years.
And I think that's really special because we have the ability to know your industry inside and out. Now this number 1 stands for what we were rated by Salon Today's top 200 salons.
Okay, now we're talking.
And you mentioned that dependability was important to you. So I want to write down Mary's name right here, and I have her business card with me and a testimonial for Mary. I'm going to leave these aside for you, so following our meeting, you're able to reach out to Mary and ask her a little bit more about our service and what we were able to do for her.
Okay.
Mary was actually experiencing some similar problems in her appointment setting process. So what I'd like to do is just give you a quick overview of how we were able to help her solve those same issues. And I'm just going to log into the system here so you can have a quick view of what we'll be able to show you in our next meeting with Raphael.
Okay.
Okay, so it's having some errors right now. And that's okay because I actually brought a brochure with me and I can show you the same things on here that I can on there. So what we can do when we look at our appointment scheduling book is you can see right here where they log in, and then you can set the create appointment and it'll automatically set the amount of time needed for that stylist. Now once this appointment is on the books, all of your stylists are able to use their own specific login from home to log on and see what appointments they need to be in there for.
Okay.
And once they come in for these appointments, you're going to be saving this $195 that we talked about right here. Well, actually earning an extra $195 that we talked about right here, and that's per week. So if we take that $195 times 52 weeks in a year, that's an extra $10,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
So what I'd like to do is put together a unique proposal that goes through each 3 of these needs and shows both you and Raphael how we can solve them using this software system.
Okay.
Does that sound like something that you would be interested in?
Sure, I'll recommend that Roth meet with you.
Okay, well you sound really excited about this opportunity, and the good news is, with only 3 service providers, that's putting you at about $49 per month. Do you believe that that's something that will fit into your budget?
Sure.
Following the $10,000?
Yeah.
Great, I'm glad to hear that. So what I'd like to do is set a meeting with both you and Raphael and help make Mary's story your story.
Okay.
When are you and both Raphael available for
Next Friday.
Next Friday?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of these notes for my safekeeping, and then I'm going to leave them with you as well as this brochure
Perfect.
and the clause.
Great.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
I can't believe this didn't work.
That happens.
It happens usually.
Well, I don't know if it happens usually, but that happens the time that you use technology sometimes.
Yeah, well, I have
So we try to do that
PowerPoint.
properly. Yeah.
Sure, I have my PowerPoint for the next meeting because we have some more time. But
I think that was fine. I mean, I think that was pretty good. How do you feel you did?
thank you. I think I did well. I think I got a little bit lost at some points, but
Which parts?
you know what? Maybe I could have done a better presentation. I'm used to using other computers.
What was the goal?
To set the next meeting.
Yeah.
And I got it. So thank you.
So sometimes that's the That's the thing, right?
Hopefully nowhere.
Oh, thank you.